Little Emma, only 5 years old, held her teddy bear tight while rain hit the windows. "I am not your daddy anymore," her rich stepfather yelled at her. "Your mom picked her job over us." Soon, Emma was crying outside in the rain all alone. But then her mother's plane landed back home. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. Emma held her teddy bear tight, tears running down her face. The big living room with its shiny lights and stone floors felt cold and empty. Her stepfather, Maxwell Stone, a very rich man worth over $80 million, stood over her looking very angry. "I'm done with your mother's games," Maxwell yelled, hitting the table with his fist. "She picked her job over me and I won't be stuck watching her mistake." Emma shook with fear. She didn't know what she did wrong. Just yesterday they made cookies together in the kitchen. Today men in black suits were packing her colorful backpack while Maxwell shouted orders. "But Daddy Max, where's Mommy?" Emma asked very quietly. Maxwell's eyes got narrow. "Don't call me that. I'm not your father. Your mother is in Tokyo working on some deal she thought was more important than our marriage." Sarah, the housekeeper who had taken care of Emma since she was a baby, stood at the door, her hands shaking. "Mr. Stone, please think again. It's raining hard outside and Emma is just a little child." "You're fired too, Sarah. Pack your things." Maxwell didn't even look at her. "I want both of you gone in 1 hour." Sarah ran to Emma, putting her arms around the little girl. "Sir, this is so cruel. Ms. Rivera trusted you with her daughter. A mistake she'll be sorry for." Maxwell took out his phone. "I've called for a car to take Emma to her grandmother's house. That old woman never liked me anyway." But Emma's grandmother lived far away in an old people's home and couldn't take care of a child. Sarah knew this and she felt scared. "At least let me call Ms. Rivera," Sarah begged. "Good luck with that." Isabella turned off her phone for this important meeting. Just like she always does. His voice was bitter. "Maybe next time she'll remember she has a family at home." An hour later, Sarah and Emma stood on the wet sidewalk outside the big house gates. The car Maxwell promised never came. The rain soaked through Emma's pink jacket as she held onto Sarah's leg. "Where are we going?" Emma asked with chattering teeth. Sarah took out her own phone with shaking hands. She had saved some money for emergencies, but her small apartment was being fixed and she couldn't stay there. The hotels nearby were too expensive. She looked through her phone contacts, but as someone who moved from another country with most family far away, she didn't have many options. "We'll find something, sweetheart," Sarah promised, though she was worried. They waited at a bus stop, Emma's small body shivering even though Sarah tried to keep her warm. Sarah tried every phone number she had for Isabella, her personal phone, her assistant, even old work friends, but couldn't reach anyone. Night came. It got colder. Sarah made a choice and used her last savings to get a small room at a cheap motel at the edge of town. The motel room was small and smelled like cleaning stuff, but it was dry and warm. Emma fell asleep fast, tired from crying. Sarah sat by the window still trying to call Isabella. Far away in Tokyo, Isabella Rivera stood at the front of a meeting room, showing the last slides of her work. At 34 she had worked her way to the top through hard work and smarts. This big international deal would make her the youngest female CEO in her business. "And with these numbers, we expect to make money back within the first 18 months, Isabella finished with confidence. Everyone clapped. People reached to shake her hand. She had done it, got a $300 million deal that would change her company. After the meeting, Isabella turned her phone back on, expecting happy messages from coworkers. Instead, 57 missed calls filled her screen, most from Sarah, some from numbers she didn't know. Cold fear washed over her. Sarah never called unless something was wrong with Emma. Isabella's fingers shook as she called Sarah back. Sarah answered right away. "Ms. Rivera, thank God." "What happened? Is Emma okay?" Isabella's voice broke. "Mr. Stone, he kicked Emma out of the house. He fired me too. We're at the Sundown Motel on Westridge Road. Emma's okay, just scared and confused." Isabella felt like the world was spinning. "He did what?" "He said you chose your job over your marriage and that he wouldn't babysit your mistake." Sarah couldn't say Maxwell's exact words. Isabella's legs gave out. She fell into a chair, not caring about the worried looks from the people still in the room. "I'm coming home. Now." The deal, the job promotion, the praise, none of it mattered. "Stay with her, Sarah. I'll send money for anything you need." "Ms. Rivera, there's something else. Before we left, I heard Mr. Stone on the phone with someone. He talked about moving money to secret accounts and selling your shared properties before you came back." Isabella felt ice in her veins. The marriage agreement protected her personal money and company shares, but their shared accounts had millions, and they owned houses in 3 states. Sarah, I need you to do something for me. Take pictures of everything in that room, how it looks, Emma sleeping there. Take pictures of everything. Isabella ended the call and right away called her lawyer, Marcus Goldstein. Marcus, I need an emergency court hearing. Maxwell has thrown my daughter out on the street and is trying to hide money. Her voice was hard as steel. And I want everything we talked about in backup plan B to happen. Right now. The extreme option? Marcus sounded surprised. Are you sure? He left my 5-year-old child in a storm. There is no going back. Isabella got on the next flight to America, using the 13-hour trip to make her plans. She had always planned for the worst, a habit that made her good at business. What Maxwell didn't know was that Isabella had been quietly keeping records of his shady business deals for years, just in case. Not because she didn't love him once, she did very much, but because growing up poor had taught her that love without safety was dangerous. Especially when you had a child to protect. Emma woke up confused in the strange motel room. Sarah, where's Mommy? Where's Daddy Max? Sarah stroked Emma's hair, her heart breaking. Your mommy is coming, sweetheart. She's on a plane right now, flying as fast as she can to get to you. But why did Daddy Max make us leave? Did I do something bad? Sarah hugged the child. No, my angel. You did nothing wrong. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes when they're angry or sad. Hours later, a taxi stopped outside the motel. Isabella ran through the door, still in her work clothes, eyes red from crying the whole flight. Mommy? Emma jumped into her mother's arms. Isabella held her daughter tight, smelling her hair, checking her small body for any hurt. I'm so sorry, baby. Mommy's here now. Everything will be okay. Over Emma's head, Isabella looked at Sarah. Thank you, she said without sound. For everything. Sarah nodded, feeling relieved after her long, hard day. That night, Isabella held Emma until she fell asleep, then stepped outside to call Marcus. It's done, Marcus told her. The judge gave an emergency order to freeze all shared money based on the proof you sent. We've also got a restraining order against Maxwell. And the other thing? The SEC and FBI got the papers this morning. They're moving fast because of what you showed them. Isabella leaned against the wall, feeling many things at once. She had loved Maxwell once. When they married 3 years ago, she thought she found a partner who respected her work while loving her daughter like his own. Emma had loved him from the start, calling him Daddy Max just weeks after meeting him. But things changed in recent months. Maxwell got angry about her success, telling her to work less. Their fights got worse, though she never thought he would take it out on Emma. What Maxwell never understood was that Isabella worked so hard to give Emma the safety she never had growing up. Born to a teenage mother and raised poor, Isabella worked her way through college on scholarships, working many jobs. She built her company from nothing, all while raising Emma alone after her birth father left them. She had believed in fairy tales once. Never again. The next morning, Isabella checked them into the best room of the city's nicest hotel. She needed time to plan what to do next. While Emma watched cartoons with Sarah, Isabella sat at the desk looking at the papers Marcus had sent. Maxwell had indeed tried to move $12 million to a secret account, but the emergency freeze had stopped it just in time. Isabella's phone rang, a number she didn't know. Isabella, please? Maxwell's voice sounded desperate. This has gone too far. I made a terrible mistake. I was angry, but I never meant to hurt Emma. You threw my 5-year-old child out of your house during a storm? Isabella's voice was very calm, which made it scarier. There is no coming back from that. I've been trying to reach Sarah. Is Emma okay? Just tell me she's safe. You lost the right to know anything about my daughter when you called her a mistake. Don't call us again. Isabella, wait. The FBI came to the office this morning. What did you do? She allowed herself a small, cold smile. I simply shared what I've known for years, Maxwell. The fake loan papers, the money washing through your downtown buildings, the bribes to city officials. Did you really think I wouldn't notice? There was quiet on the other end. But, why keep it quiet all this time? He finally asked. Because I loved you. I thought you could change. But you showed me exactly who you are when you punished an innocent child because you were mad at me. Isabella. Goodbye, Maxwell. 3 days later, the story was on all the news. Maxwell Stone, rich businessman, arrested for 37 counts of fraud, money washing, and tax cheating. His money taken, his good name ruined. Isabella watched the news from their new big apartment downtown. a place she had bought secretly through a fake company a year earlier, when she first noticed Maxwell's behavior changing. Sarah came in carefully. "Ms. Rivera, Emma is asking when we're going home." Isabella turned off the TV. "We are home, Sarah. This is our new home." "And Mr. Stone? Maxwell will be lucky to stay out of jail. Either way, he'll never hurt Emma again." Isabella had already found the best child doctor in the city to help Emma deal with the hurt of being left by someone she trusted. The wound would take time to heal, but Isabella would make sure her daughter got everything she needed. A week later, Isabella stood before her company's leaders, explaining why she left Tokyo so fast. "I'm sorry for leaving so quickly, but as you now know from the news, I had a family emergency that needed me right away." The chairwoman, Diane Forrester, raised her hand. "Isabella, the board has talked about what happened. While we're sad about losing the Tokyo deal, we all agree that you did the right thing. Family comes first." Isabella blinked back tears of relief. "In fact," Diane continued, "we'd like to change your job to let you work more from home and have a better schedule. Your daughter needs you now and the company needs your smart brain. We believe both can happen." That evening, Isabella came home early, something she promised herself would become a habit. She found Emma and Sarah in the kitchen baking cookies, flour on their faces. "Mommy? We're making chocolate chip cookies, your favorite." Emma's smile was coming back, a little at a time. Isabella hung up her coat and rolled up her sleeves. "Room for one more baker?" Emma waited, then asked in a small voice, "You won't go away again for a long time?" Isabella knelt down, looking into her daughter's eyes. "I'm going to be home much more now. And whenever I do have to travel, you'll come with me. We're a team, you and me. Always." "And Sarah too?" Isabella smiled at the housekeeper who had become family. "Yes, and Sarah too." As they mixed cookie dough together, Isabella's phone buzzed with a message from Marcus. "Final divorce papers filed. He agreed to everything to avoid more charges. It's over." Isabella put the phone away and focused on her daughter's laughter. Some wealth is counted in dollars and deals. Others in moments like these. 6 months later, Isabella sat in court, giving proof that would make sure Maxwell spent at least 15 years in federal prison. He sat at the defense table looking much less proud than before, not willing to look at her. When asked by the prosecutor why she finally showed proof of her husband's crimes, Isabella answered simply, "Because I needed to show my daughter that no one, no matter how rich or powerful, has the right to hurt others without consequences." The judge, a mother herself, nodded in understanding. Outside the court, reporters wanted a statement. Isabella stood tall, staying calm. "Today isn't about getting back at him," she told the cameras. "It's about justice and protection. Sometimes the strongest thing a mother can do is show her child that love means having lines that cannot be crossed." Back home, Emma waited with Sarah, building a fort out of blankets and pillows in the living room. When Isabella walked through the door, Emma came out of her fort with a handmade sign, "World's Best Mommy." Isabella's calm face finally broke. Tears flowed as she hugged her daughter. "Are you sad, Mommy?" Emma asked, wiping Isabella's cheeks. "No, sweetheart. These are happy tears. Because I have you, and that makes me the luckiest mommy in the whole wide world." That night, as rain again hit against windows, Emma slept peacefully in her new bed, surrounded by her favorite toys and books. Isabella stood watching from the door, a guard against all storms, weather and human alike. She had lost a husband but got back her power. She had risked a job but gained something much more valuable, her daughter's trust and safety. Some would call it revenge. Isabella called it justice. But Emma, in her innocent wisdom, had the best name for it. "We're home now," she had said earlier that evening. "Our forever home where nobody can make us leave." And that was worth more than all the millions in the world.